Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I am joined by a man who the legend of Paul Bunyan is loosely based upon. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Justin.
Hey, babe.
You know what? It took me a second, then I'm like, oh yeah, that is Babe the Blue Ox. Anywho, this is 151. We hope that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. And we hope that you subscribe, follow, share, and like us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, new to TuneIn, new to Spotify, and so many others. But if you miss any of that, just head over to 151theshow.com, and it will have all the links there. So, please, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. Tonight on the show, as Justin is back from the edge of death and sickness.
Dude, the last 10 days have been something else, but it's not Rona. I got tested, and if you want to talk about that, I can tell you exactly how that test goes.
Well, you know what? You know what's really funny about this whole thing is I think every time we've done one of these, you've had some sort of sickness that you've had to get some sort of test for, and I think you've started most shows by saying it's not the Rona.
I have, since March when this really came about, I've had this same lung stuff at least 3 times now, I think.
Wow.
This year sucks for me, and it has nothing to do with coronavirus. I keep getting stuff down in my lungs and I can't get it out.
Well, other than your sickness, and maybe we'll dive into the corona test a little bit later. That's where they just shove a Q-tip up your nose, right?
So I'm fairly, they go all the way back to
the real quick
where
version of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Q-tip.
Oof.
Yeah.
Good thing they didn't go in through the back door.
I don't know. I think I'd have probably preferred that. I mean.
Okay. I did the parakeet look at you right there.
You did. You look like my dog when I have cheese.
No Porthos, no cheese. This is 151, as I said. Justin's coming off sickness again. We're also coming off another giant storm, which we're going to start there tonight with this. And I can never say it right. A derecho.
Is it derecho? I think
derecho.
It looks like derecho.
Yeah, but it's like derecho.
Right.
Something somewhere in there. It was the Iowa hurricane. We're just going to put it like that.
Right.
So we're going to talk about the Iowa hurricane that happened a couple weeks ago, and we're going to dive into a little. I don't want to call it a game, but I think Justin's really going to like it. So I'm kind of excited for this to wrap up the show.
He's giddy. He won't tell me anything about it. So
I will not. But
I am going to be just as surprised as all of you folks.
But I do think it is something that we can add to the show as a regular feature.
Okay.
And I'm really
down.
excited. So,
I'm
anyways,
down.
Back a couple weeks ago, it was like a Monday, wasn't it?
It was a Monday morning.
I woke up a little bit late because I had to go into the studio for the other job, and wake up and look at the radar, and there's this storm kind of barreling down on central Iowa, and that's where both Justin and I are from, or central Iowa. He's more southern central Iowa. I'm more northern central Iowa, but central Iowa, right? But this storm starts rolling through, and, for me up in Ankeny, this is what happened to us. So Steph, my wife, she goes, well, I got everything, put in the garage that we need. The neighbor's pool is not it's not tied down. And I'm like, oh, God. She's like, do you think we had to grab it and put it in our garage? And long story short on that, it was one of those things where it was, let's go get the pool and throw it in the garage. So we did. No sooner did we get that pool in the garage, this storm hit, and it was like nothing I've ever seen before. For almost 40 years of living in Iowa, I've never seen a storm like this before.
Something else.
And it looked like a bomb went off in our neighborhood. A tree fell on the back of my house. Which we, got today. We finally got the last of the tree out of the yard, so we're kind of back to normal and stuff. But God, just the last 2 weeks, it's just been nothing but nuts and cleaning up and trying to get things straightened up and things back to normal.
So I did a video right after it happened, kind of what was down in my yard, and it looks exactly the same. That came through on Monday. I was getting sick by Wednesday. It was like couldn't hardly breathe by Friday, and it's just I haven't cleaned a thing, to be honest with you. It's terrible. I still got all that out of me.
Well, we had the tree on the back of the house, and truth be told, we were all looking out the front of the windows, my son and my wife and I, and we were watching, crash, boom, tree falls over here, crash, boom, tree falls over here, and all of a sudden, then we heard this thump, and we kind of looked at each other. We go, "What was that?" So I went and looked out the back, the back of the house. I'm like, "Our tree fell over."
On the house.
After the storm had passed, we were trying. We didn't have internet. We didn't have cell service was all messed up. Our power was out. I mean, it was a mess, and we were trying to get a hold of someone to get the tree off the house. And my wife, she looked down the way and saw these guys cutting a tree off someone else's house. She goes, "Go ask them." I'm like, "Okay."
Right.
So I went down and I asked them, and $3,000 later, I got got the tree off my house. But I will say this. And it's kind of a shameless plug, but Top Notch Tree Care here in Iowa, they're the guys I worked with. The boss of the place, he's the owner, Rod Meek. He was the first guy up on the roof with a chainsaw to start cutting that thing off. And he even, I asked him, I go, "Listen, there's a couple branches in our front trees, and I got one in the back that there was stuff I couldn't reach. And I go, "Listen, if you get them down, I'll cut them up." And he goes, "Okay, we'll do that." So, but yeah, they got that damn tree cut down in like 2 hours.
Nice.
It was pretty incredible. So.
Now, how long were you guys without power?
See, that's you want to hear a really funny story that I haven't told many people yet?
Sure.
So, we're cleaning up that day and just trying to get everything, stuff out of the road, the whole neighborhood came out and started to kind of, tear things apart. Except one guy that started stacking stuff up in the middle of the road. I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Cleaning." And I go, "We're cleaning it off the road." And he just had this look on his face like he just couldn't comprehend what I was saying. But anyways, we were without power until about 4 or 5 that afternoon. And this is what is kind of weird about it. And we don't dive into a whole lot of religion and that sort of thing on this show, but and believe me, I don't like to preach to people. Believe in what you want. If find something to believe in and just go from there. But as I'm walking up the driveway, I kind of looked up and I went, "We could really use some power right now." And I'll be damned if the power wasn't on in 10 minutes.
Nice.
And about a little bit after that, it kind of hit me, and I looked up and I go, "Thank you." But it really was like that. You
better say thank you after one of them.
Exactly. But that was the thing about it. We got power back, like I said, about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, something like that. And then we got internet back at about 9 o'clock that night. And so internally in the house, we were pretty much back to normal. But I know there's a lot of people here in the town I'm in that in Cedar Rapids got just destroyed.
I work out the shop's 20 miles west of West Des Moines. So, I mean, it's 40 miles from my place to your place.
Yeah.
So we were on not really where it started, but just at the point that it started getting really bad. Yeah. When I saw the thing, on the radar. I was talking to Sheena. She was off because we didn't have daycare, so she had both kids.
Sheena's your wife, by the way.
My wife Sheena, and she was running around. I'm like, "Hey, there's a line of thunderstorms popped up." I'm looking on the map, and about 5 minutes after I sent her that, it popped up with wind advisories and stuff, and I sent her back, "Hey, this looks like it could actually be pretty severe." And I think they said it was going to be 45, 50 mile an hour winds. And by the time it hit Dexter, they were over 70. And by the time they made it to Adel, where I live, I think it was over 80. I mean, it was just insane how quickly it was blowing up.
Well, wasn't it in
strengthening?
North of us in a town called Marshalltown and stuff? Didn't they register 100-mile-an-hour winds?
106, I think.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah, and not those aren't cyclone winds, ladies and gentlemen. That is straight line, punch a 2x4 through the side of your house winds.
Yeah, there was this great picture of there was a lawn chair lodged into the side of a house. The real crazy moment for me was right after we got that pool in our garage. I looked up and the sky just completely changed in the wind. You could kind of feel it coming. And it's one of those moments you'll never forget. I looked at my wife. I go, "Get inside now."
Right.
And it's very rare that a storm of any sort will scare me.
I'm the guy that stands out. I'm the guy that stands outside and watches tornadoes.
Exactly.
It was dark enough at the shop that I called the wife and said, "Are you going to be home before this thing hits? Because if you're not, I want you to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
And be safe. I don't want you in it with the kids at all."
And even my son, who loves thunderstorms, that sort of thing, he was getting a little worried. And we've got big, much like your place. I mean, it's not our house isn't in the middle of the forest, but we've got big trees around our house. And the one that fell, in no way did I ever think that was going to be the tree that would fall.
I know your neighborhood well.
Yeah, you used to live here.
Right.
But no, going back to the storm, ton of if you have no idea what we're talking about, look up derecho on YouTube, Iowa derecho, and you'll find a ton of great videos. And when I say great, I mean like just amazing videos of a storm that you couldn't possibly imagine.
No.
There's one, I saw one of Cedar Rapids. It's about a half hour long, and a guy just put a guy or gal, I don't know who did it, but he put a camera up outside of his house, and by the end of the 30 minutes, the neighborhood is destroyed.
Yeah. Grain bins, barns, I mean, just stuff flattened.
Yeah.
Just absolutely. And God bless the linemen. I mean, we lost power Monday morning, and we got it back. It came on like Tuesday night, 10 after 10. My old man gave me a generator a couple of years ago, and I was rotating in and out fridges and freezers and everything else. We did well. We weren't that hard to hit, but there was, God bless the linemen.
Yeah.
You guys do good work. That was insane.
The amount of work they did in about a week to get everything kind of back up and running. And just, you look around all the towns and all that and how people are coping with this. And, it's kind of amazing to live in a place where after a storm like that, everybody came outside and immediately started pulling tree limbs off of the street and pulling stuff out of people's yards,
And just like, okay, well, this is what it is now. This is what we got to do.
Yeah.
There weren't people just saying, come rescue us, this, that, and the other. It was, okay, well, let's roll up the sleeves and get to work.
I will say this, in my nearing 40 years of age, I did pay two of the neighbor kids to take all the branches to the drop-off thing. Well, the city I live in, Ankeny, they were saying that it was going to be like 4 to 8 weeks on when they'd be around. And we had a whole tree in our front yard, right? So, it was killing the grass and all that, and I ended up giving away a bunch of the wood and taking it out to a burn pile. I've got more, fire pit wood than I'll ever need.
Right.
But all the other stuff, I paid two kids to take it over there, and I don't know what would have happened to me if I would have done that work.
I've got about 4 trees that I'm going to take down in pieces and just take them over to the different part of the yard and throw them in the burn pit.
This is 151. I am Adam. He is Justin. We're talking about the Iowa hurricane that rolled through a couple weeks ago, just because this is the first time Justin and I have had a chance to record since then. But just an unbelievable sight. Like I said, if you get on YouTube and just put in derecho, and I'm probably not saying it right, but
derecho, derecho.
Derecho. Look it up on YouTube, and you'll see an unbelievable amount of videos from the state of Iowa. It rolled through Illinois and even into Ohio, didn't it?
Yep. By the time it got out through Indiana, it was pretty much petered out. It was just a thunderstorm. I left on Tuesday to go to Peoria because I had to go see a guy.
I had to see a man about a horse.
I did, and it was just flat corn, just
Yeah.
all along I-80, all the way. Got over around Iowa City and Cedar Rapids. Couldn't even find fuel
Yeah.
because nobody had power. It was insane.
Yeah. The whole thing of it looked like a bomb went off. That's like our neighborhood. I mean, it was just. I mean, nothing was on fire, obviously, or anything like that. But I mean,
Right.
it just like you knew it was a massive event of what happened. All right, friends, this is 151. You can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button and like, follow, and share us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 151 The Show. So as we get away from kind of the serious side of things, we usually like to have some fun with the conversations we have. So I found something, and I want to Justin and I, we like to play different games on the show. Like we've done a speed dating show. We've done Bag of Questions. And I found a new one, and I think it's going to become a staple here. Okay?
I'm ready. Lay it on me, man.
So I found, and I'm going to hold it up for the camera, one for Justin and one for the real main camera, but I found this app. It's a spin the wheel thing.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm reaching. Sorry. Camera's a little far away. So there are 7 different topics on this, okay?
I think the last time I played a game like this in college, I lost my pants and my dignity.
And never got it back. The options on this wheel tonight, right? And that's kind of the cool thing about this app. It's just a free download off Google Play. But you can make as many topics as you want. You can take out options as you go. But for the remainder of the show, whatever we feel like going here, we're going to do this. We're going to spin the wheel, okay?
Okay.
And you have to tell a story, essentially, of what, when I spin the wheel for you or I spin the wheel for myself, we have to go that route, okay?
Okay.
The
I'm
options
willing to go.
The options on here are Star Trek Lower Decks.
Okay.
Okay, because you've seen all those episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold On Tight, Bad Driver Stories, Home Improvement Gone Wrong, Bag of Questions, where I will literally dive into the bag of questions and pull out a bag of question for you, which, by the way, I did add a whole bunch of questions in the last couple weeks. Road Trip Story, so you have to tell a story about a road trip.
Okay.
All right. Drunk Story, your best drunk story, and spend $1,000 right now.
Okay.
Like if someone said, "Here's $1,000, you have this much time to spend it," where would you go, and what would you do?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Hit me.
All right, I'm gonna hold it up because I'm gonna try and get the sound effect on here. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. All right, Justin, your topic is home improvement gone wrong.
I don't know that I have that many gone wrong stories, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
There wasn't any project or something you tried to do and it just ended in disaster, or something that ended up.
No, you actually hit one of my fortes. The only thing that I don't do is drywall repair and painting.
Really? That's it? You do electrical and all that? Plumbing?
Remember when I added all the fans to my house, man?
See, I don't do electricity. There's not a lot of, I just finished, the bathroom that's down here in Studio North. I finished it. Finished. I got to touch up the paint and clean off the sink, but the trim work, and I built a door for it, but that's about as extensive as it gets for me.
110 electrical AC doesn't really bother me. House current, I've been hit by house current before, and it hurts and it tingles, but I know I'm gonna live. 220 I don't like, and 480 3-phase we have at work, that will not only kill you, it will hurt the whole time you're dying. So I don't touch that.
I don't touch. I don't do anything electrical. I'm scared to death.
110 doesn't bother me. No, 110 doesn't bother me.
I've been shocked enough as a kid that,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, no. I don't even like to jump cars. Like, I'll do it if I have to. I don't like to do it. Because it's just, it's one of those phobias for me that I just can't get past.
Right.
So it's just, I had, I'll never forget it. I was helping my uncle put up his Christmas lights one time, and this is just one of my shocking stories. But he goes, yeah, you got to go through, and it's the old, like, it was almost like light bulbs,
right,
type Christmas lights. And he goes, well, you got to go through and you got to check all the bulbs. I'm like, okay. So I start checking these stupid things, and one of them exploded in my hand and shocked the shit out of me. And I'm like, it was one of those, you're like, oh, had no idea what happened. He's like, oh, maybe I ought to go get some new bulbs. And I was just like, I'm done, man. I'm gonna go home.
See, and I work on a heavy equipment that's got both 12 volt and 24 volt systems on it.
Yeah.
So it hooking up something and letting the factory smoke out of the box. I can't exactly say that I've never done that, but yeah, home improvement. I think probably the worst thing that I ever did that I thought was going to turn out really well was. Well, I can tell, okay, it wasn't my story, but here's what I found. I was fixing spots in the drywall, and I got these, they used to make these little, I don't know if they still do or not, basically like steel lattice patch panels. So you put it over, you lay some mud on it, whatever, and you can patch your drywall out. So I'm working on an outlet, and in the Ankeny house now, in the one just right by you, years ago, and I start working on an outlet, and I'm like working on the edge, like this doesn't feel right. I think this is all torn up. And as I start, take the cover off and start looking, they had taken paper towels and shoved in to give enough base in here so they could lay the putty over to let it harden. And when I took the paper towels out, a chunk of the wall this big came out with them that I had to patch around an outlet hole. So
wow.
Yeah, See, I'm shady.
Yeah, our house, you know, the more you kind of, it's one of those pictures that the more you look at it, the more you see what's wrong with it.
Right.
And, you know, like one of the stupid things that we've since replaced is, you know, like when the flooding happened here, we replaced all the outlets. Thank you to Rick Andrews, my buddy Rick, the hockey fan, for going through and redoing all my my outlets for me. I appreciate it, Rick. But like they did stuff where, listen, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you don't have to be good at something to know someone else is bad at something, and that's kind of the way that our house has been. So anytime we've come up on a project, we've had professionals come in and do it. Right. Like our bathtub, you know, we had a plumbing company come in, you know, the drywall and so on and so forth. So
I always hated the basement ceiling in that house, my old house in Ankeny, because it was drop ceiling.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of cheap and chintzy and whatnot. I can tell you that after moving out here and having this house with the basement and the nice finished ceilings, but no Ethernet anywhere in the house, and a really crappy arrangement for Wi-Fi, that I missed that drop ceiling being able just to basically punch a hole through anywhere in the floor and wire up however I wanted to.
Well, that's kind of the funny thing. We're having a painting company come out, and they're doing our living room and our ceilings and our kitchen ceiling and stuff this week. But a couple Christmases ago, I got a big flat screen TV, and now we've got the mount for it. We've just never put it up. And we talked to the guy from the painting place, and he's like, yeah, wait till after they paint to put that up because you'd have to take it down. Like, okay, that makes sense. But anyways, that's going to be my next project, is putting that up, which I've put one of those up before. It's not a big deal, you know. And but the part I'm worried about is running the wires up or down the wall and hiding them, because I've never done that before. So
I have two pieces of advice that I can give for you that after the show.
Okay,
because I've done that. I've done it both in the wall and in front of the wall. And I have some amazing toggles if you don't have a stud to lag to.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Do you like this at all, this idea of this spinning wheel?
Well, the first category wasn't really in my wheelhouse here, but
All right.
I think we told some pretty interesting stories. Let's do it again.
All right. I was going to try and think of a name to call it right now. We'll see where we're at. We'll do like one or two more and see where we're at. How about that?
I think it all depends on how it goes. If we like it, it'll be, hey, the spinny wheel game. If we don't, it'll be, hey, you remember that time where we did that spinny wheel game?
All right, I'm spinning the wheel again for our new topic. Here we go. For those of you that are watching on YouTube or even the Facebook video, I've got the app pulled up on my phone, and I'm holding it up to the mic so we can hear the sound of it. Here we go. What will our new topic be? It is spend $1,000 right now. Justin, if you had $1,000 that you had to spend right now, not save it, not use it on anything like responsible or something like that, what would you buy?
Network attached storage.
The what?
Network attached storage.
What's that?
It's a box that you put a bunch of shitload of hard drives in. I'd put SSDs in there for movies and media. It's a boring answer, but literally in the next couple of weeks, I have some parts on order. Adam's been encouraging me to record some of the things that I do in my off time. And I'm going to take you guys through. I'm going to add a RAID card, or not a RAID card, but a card to a computer that I've got sitting around so I can hook up 4 more hard drives in it. I'm going to put those hard drives and combine them into a single storage space to run as a home movie and photo backup server. So I would buy more components, more up-to-date components for that.
Awesome. That's not a bad answer, though.
No, it's boring, but yeah.
Would $1,000 cover that?
I've got all the hardware to do it right now, so it would just be like upgrading.
Okay.
Like $200. It all depends on what you want. A $200, let's say, for a price point, will either put you into about a 1 terabyte SSD, which is a solid state drive, which is basically, fancy RAM, or it'll put you into like a 6 terabyte traditional spinning hard drive with lots and lots of storage. So at this point in time, you can combine the two. So I would probably put like 3 spinning drives and 1 SSD because it's so much faster, and the software is getting smart enough that it'll take the files you use a lot and stick them on that SSD so you can get to them really quick. And if it needs to pull something kind of out of the archive, that comes off your spinning drives.
Okay. I think if I had $1,000, I'd put it towards another new computer. Just another new laptop, just to upgrade a little bit, because it's been a few years for the one that's actually recording the show in the background here. But fun-wise, I mean, I could always say, I'd save it until November or whenever the PS5's coming out.
Nope, you got to spend it now. You said no saving.
But
spend it now.
You know what? I might rent a movie theater. I really might. I might actually go to a movie theater because I saw, at one of the theaters in town here, they were playing like Last Crusade. They were playing National Lampoon's Vacation. There's a lot of these movies that kind of coming out, and I keep saying that, I'd love to go see that. But truth be told, I'm not really... listen, I'm not overly scared of the coronavirus and all that, but I'm not taking any stupid risks.
Dumb risks.
Yeah, and going to a movie theater right now doesn't seem like the brightest of all ideas to me.
I think it all depends on what environment we're walking into. If we're walking into, a standard movie theater, God only knows the last time it was, sticky floors, etc. I think if you're walking into an environment where they're aware of it, they're actively doing what they need to do, you're not stupid about how you purport yourself when you're in there, I think you're okay. And especially I think it was the one up in Ankeny there for like $250 like a month ago. You could rent the whole auditorium with like 12 or 15 of your friends or whatever.
See,
to go watch Empire Strikes Back or something. I would do that in a heartbeat.
See, that's when because I haven't been to a movie. The last movie I went and saw was Sonic the Hedgehog with the kid. But to take to do like a triple feature, to be able to go and watch, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and like an Empire Strikes Back, or like Jurassic Park has been out or something like that. I would spend $1,000 on the theater and, hey, set me up with food. And,
absolutely.
And we're gonna let it roll.
I mean,
and maybe take like 4 or 5 people, but space it out to where it's not a big deal, and just go from there.
Had the opportunity for the Palms out here in Waukee when they were doing the curbside popcorn. I want that theater to stay alive, man. I don't want it to go down. We just got that thing. I'm a big fan.
See, that's the other thing. Like the one here in Ankeny, that I like it, but there's parts that I'm not happy with, and I'll tell you later, because I don't want to badmouth them, because they're in a bad. It's not been a great year, but I don't want to kick somebody while they're down. But I genuinely like the theater on the most part. Like, I lean towards I like it, but I haven't been to the new one in Waukee yet. I want to go to it. Good. I want to go see it. So good.
I don't have a bad thing to say about it, man. I'll put it that way.
All right. You want to do one more and then we'll call it a night?
Sure. My voice is starting to give way here a little bit. So
all right, we'll do one more quick one, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Going to spin the wheel one more time and find our last topic of the night. We're going to end with Star Trek Lower Decks.
Boom.
Have you watched all 3 yet?
I have.
I'll tell you this much about that show. I don't know whether I love it or hate it.
You have to be in the mindset of it's a frickin' cartoon, because if you actually try to equate that to live action, then you're going to hate it. I mean, that's all there is to it.
There is one thing I hate right off the bat. I hate the ship. I think that's one of the dumbest looking ships I've ever seen on Earth.
Right.
I'm not a fan of it.
Like somebody took the Reliant and went like this.
Yeah, but no, I just the characters are. I can't decide if it's like Family Guy in space or like Rick and Morty in space.
It's honestly closer to what they portrayed. It in reality is the way they advertise the Orville.
Yeah, no, you're not far off. I think there are times in the show, and we're through 3 episodes at this point of recording, but I think there's like, it's always funny to a point, and then it's like they don't know when to end the joke. Is the best way I can say it. Where it's funny, and then it's like, okay.
I have an issue with any character that is more hyperactive than my 3-year-old. And that's where I feel like I basically it's the one character I think that pushes it into the realm of absurdity with her blah 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 1,000 miles a minute shtick that she does.
Yeah, there is a lot of shtick in it. It's a little much at times. Like I said, I don't know whether I love it or hate it. I really don't.
And then the moments of genius, like
Miles O'Brien.
The most important, the most important person that's ever served in Starfleet being Chief Miles O'Brien. I mean, that is frigging genius.
No, it's got a lot of great tie-ins. Like, and that's the thing. That's what confuses me about the whole show is, they definitely take the joke way too far sometimes, but there's enough of the, like the Miles O'Brien, like the opening sequence where it's kind of a mix of a couple different opening sequences, but it's like, I love the part where they pull up on the Borg and they just turn around and leave.
Yep.
I think that part's funny. I think I liked in the latest episode, the first officer, where he stabs her in the foot and then he goes and fights, and he keeps doing the 2-hand thing.
I love that it's not afraid to go kind of in the direction of what you always assume, that Starfleet Command was reading Kirk's logs and being like, okay, This guy is, I mean, this is complete BS. I mean, he just said he met Abraham Lincoln and a green giant hand grabbed the ship. I mean,
Yeah.
has anybody checked for drugs with this guy? And it's like, okay, if that got out, you would have like Ensigns, yes, be like, holy crap, you know, this Spock guy came back from the dead. That actually happened.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
in talking it out right now, I think that is what it comes down to. It's a show that takes the joke a little too far sometimes.
yes.
And they don't know where that line is. And yeah.
For better or for worse, it's on its third episode. Look at the first season of Next Generation. It was for the most part.
Yeah, no, agreed.
I'm enjoying it, and I guess you know me. As long as I'm enjoying it, I don't worry too much about anything else.
See, that's the thing, though, that I don't hate it by any stretch. I
Yeah.
just don't know. Like I'll get to that point. I'm like, I want to hate this, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I laughed my butt off at the little energy being that they're like, no, make me a tricorder.
Yeah.
Stuff it in the tube. Stuff it in the tube. Come on.
I like the drunk Klingon that stole the shuttlecraft.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. So,
Right.
all right, friends. All right, final verdict. Do you like this spin the wheel game?
I like the spin the wheel game. I do.
Is it a new feature here on the show?
I think we'll figure out what to call it, and it'll be a new feature here on the show.
I thought about putting it on the tablet so I could hold it up a little bit better, or figuring out a way to put it on like the computer so I could put it up on the screen. But for tonight, I thought it worked pretty well. Cool.
Well, I think we have the. I think now if we can figure out how to tie that in.
Yeah.
We could even with technology that's presented itself here, we could do this for fan interaction, man.
Maybe, possibly. Ooh, live calls on 151.
Longtime friend of the show and a Bag of Question contributors, John Troll. That guy would be all over this.
Yeah.
So
which
I know we'd have at least one.
Maybe we should play Bag of Questions next time.
Sounds fun.
All right. This has been another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam. He is Justin. He's so good looking, isn't he?
My bags have bags, man, after the last couple of weeks here.
They really do. But at least with you, like, my beard is like the gray is peeking around the mic.
Right.
See, like, full effect. And this is my new trick. Did I show you my trick? If I take this strand and pull it up like this, all of a sudden,
oh God, it just spread.
It's 10 years younger, right?
Right.
10 years older. 10 years younger.
I FaceTimed a customer of mine the other night because I needed to show him something. And I was holding the iPad down. I borrowed the wife's iPad and I'm holding it down like this and shooting up.
Yeah.
And I got a patch right under here that you don't usually see. And I'm like, oh, holy crap. I've never seen that from that angle before. And I looked at the guy I'm with. I'm like, at least I'm not socks.
Thanks. I appreciate it. It really is. I think I've mentioned it's kind of like your sickness stuff. But think about ever since we started doing it over Zoom, I see my beard on the video and I'm like, man, that son of a bitch is gray. But here's the other thing. I'm a little bit overweight. I'm a little hefty on the, weight side. If I can get this son of a bitch turned completely white, new career. Say hello to Santa Claus.
You're gonna be rocking Santa Claus, man.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. So, all right, everybody. This is 151. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at 151 The Show. And we hope that you subscribe and like and follow and share and do all that cool stuff on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, which apparently is changing, and I don't understand how that works anymore. TuneIn, Spotify, and iTunes, and all the other ones. The links are at the bottom of the page. But please help us out and hit that subscribe button. We can't end without a shameless plug.
Cue the music.
All right, everybody, that brings us to the shameless plug of the night. That basically a shameless plug is just a shameless plug. It's something that we like or it's a service or a product or something. I'm actually going to shamelessly plug my buddy's T-shirt deal, because who knows? Maybe he'll make 151 show shirts for us. And not that son of a bitch Seth Alney, who just is in it for himself. I'm sorry, man. I'm kidding, Seth. Anyways,
I don't hardly go in public anymore without rocking my B Squad shirt.
So anyways, the shirt I'm wearing tonight, and here, I'll kind of stand up on video and stuff, but it was made by Bear's Cave. My buddy PJ Pickett, he is one of the co-owners of this. It's up in Marshalltown, and it's just a t-shirt place, and he actually gave me this shirt a couple weeks ago. It's a COVID shirt. I'm going to turn around, and hopefully I can get it on camera. This should be interesting.
Well, I'll give you directions.
Can you see it?
No, I know that. Yeah. Quit moving. International Brotherhood of Essential Workers, COVID-19 2020. Nice. I like it.
So he brought that down to me and all that, and I just wanted to say I appreciate it, PJ. If you ever want to make 151 shirts, call me.
Yes.
But you can find...
It was pointed out to me, PJ, the other day that I could use a 151 show, the sticker for my laptop if you have sticker making capability.
See, I was thinking about that, and if we ever do the thing where we go to like some Comic-Cons or like conventions or something to show the show off, I want to get these stickers made. And I don't think they're that much.
I've never looked into it.
Maybe we should? Is this where we start expanding the show and actually turn it into something?
We could merch.
Would people buy it?
I don't know.
Or do we have it ready to go for when we make it big?
Either way. I'll bet your mom would buy one.
She would totally buy one. She would absolutely, positively buy one. So anyways, go back.
I love you, Kay.
I love you, Mom. You don't ever embarrass me. I love you, Mom. All right, everybody. Bear's Cave. They're on Facebook. Bear's Cave. I'll put a link at the bottom of the page for this. But yeah, PJ got me this shirt. I like it, and I wanted to wear it for the show. We haven't done shirts of the show since we started doing it, the Zoom stuff.
No, and I just walked out and jumped on. I didn't even think about what I was wearing. I'm wearing a Naughty Nancy's Bamboo Room shirt from Anna Maria Island in Florida. If you can see this, my 3-year-old pointed at Miss Naughty Nancy there on the pole and asked, "What's that lady doing on your shirt, Dad?"
Olympic pole dancing.
Yeah, she's playing pool.
There you go. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Have a great rest of the night, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.